Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Kenya Rockman, author and founder of the Child Support Hustle. And I'm trying to look at my phone because I want to make sure if anybody tunes into this live that I can see the comments. I know I can't see them from here, I've learned. So I'm gonna give it just a couple seconds. Let me pull this up real quick. I hope everybody's doing okay this afternoon. The reason why I wanted to make this video, I'm not, usually I wear a t-shirt with Child Support Hustle on it, but I'm not at home, I'm out, but I want to talk about this topic because it's very important. Of course, debtor prisons is an epidemic, parents going to prison, being in prison for owing debt that they cannot afford to pay, and that is included in child support. So we have another father in Texas that has been found in contempt. He didn't have a hearing to determine his ability to pay and is now having to serve time. I'm not going to release his name right now because there's a lot of moving parts going on. So, and the reason why I captioned this is because the government is the only ones who know how many people across this nation has been or is currently incarcerated for owing child support debt. And the reason why I titled it this is because as I stay up, I watch the news, child support news, any government releases about child support. And what I'm finding now is that instead of saying that they are locking people up for contempt cases, they're saying, or that it's a regular occurrence. I'm sorry. Let me turn this down. They're saying they're only locking, and this is common. I've seen it in at least 3 media outlets, and I've seen it in a post by the federal government. And it's also on the OIG, the Office of Inspector General's website. They'll only lock you up if the cases are egregious. They'll take your license, they'll seize your bank accounts, they'll mess your credit. Hi, Mike. They'll do all these things to you, but they'll only take you to court to put you in jail if the child support amount or the time or whatever they don't specify is egregious. So I went to look, what does egregious mean? Because we know that they're locking people up across this nation. There's people in jail right now that are in jail for owing child support debt. We can't get the numbers because they won't release the numbers. They'll rather say, we only do it in the most extreme, egregious cases will somebody go to jail. It's a lie. Because if we're going to look at it like that, what about Felix Mannis in Erie, Pennsylvania, that went to jail for over $750? He died in custody because, I have to say allegedly, because I think there's a lawsuit still pending. They didn't get him the medical attention that he needed. He died of an asthma attack, $750. But then we look at Dame Dash, who just had to pay $1 million to buy his freedom up here in New York just this past week. So what defines egregious? Okay, so they're saying we only do it in the most egregious cases where we incarcerate anybody, but they're locking people up in the numbers. They won't release them because people would get on to the scam that they have. They're locking people up without their right to due process. They're ignoring the Supreme Court decision, which says that everybody, before they can be incarcerated for owing a child support debt, they have to have a hearing to determine their ability to pay or be offered other safeguards. The parent that I know that just went to jail or just was found in contempt of court did not have that hearing, nor was he offered any other safeguards. I forgot, Mike, about the credit. Yeah, your credit is going in the toilet. They'll ruin your lives in every way possible, but they'll only put you in jail if it's egregious. But we don't know if it's the amount, if it's 750, $1 million. We have no clue because they won't tell us. And we don't know how many people are in these jails. So they say, oh, it's not that many. There's not that many. There's nothing for you guys to worry about. These people are the scum of the earth. They owe all this money. They need to be incarcerated, but they won't tell us the numbers. So I said that to say this. It's election season, and I posted something about a politician's son, Biden's son. He's just found to be the father of a child, and the conversation quickly turned to politics. This is not the page for politics. We are out here trying to fight for child support reform or abolishment. I want to abolish the use of debtor prisons, period. Whether it's child support or in any case, if you can't afford to pay the debt, you should not be in jail. Okay? So when instead of us arguing over what political party did, said what, this, that, I don't care. I want to know, what are you going to do, sir or ma'am, if elected? What are you going to do to fix this child support issue? I'm urging everybody, instead of coming here on the child support hustle page and saying, oh, it's the Democrats' fault, it's the Republicans' fault, oh, it's the, no, we have an opportunity to go in here and ask these guys, because people are locked up right now. There are people with warrants right now. So these people are asking for our vote, but they're not addressing the issue that we talk about, and I've been talking about, and people have been talking about for decades now. What are you going to do about this system? If you're elected, nobody's even talking about it. This is a perfect time to ask Joe Biden. Don't ask him about his son in that situation. Ask him what he's going to do. You see what's going on with your son? Do you think it's fair? Are you going to reform this? Do you know that there's fathers and mothers across this nation that are sitting in jail and they cannot get out because they can't afford to? Mr. Biden, that's illegal. President Trump, we got all this going on. There's unconstitutionalities going on in the family court system. If you're reelected, what will you do? We know that you kept some of the Obama laws and executive orders in place when it came to family court, but what will you do going in even further? It's not enough to just go back and forth about who you think is right and wrong when you have an issue like this, and we sit on social media and talk about this every day. What needs to be done, when are we going to march? This is a perfect time for us to ask these candidates that make the laws, the rules, the regulations, and can put an end to this. At least start putting an end to it. The time is now. So instead of, if you're going to come on here, if I post something, if we post something, myself and my colleagues, about a political this, or instead of coming in and arguing about, oh, Trump said this or Biden said that or whatever, post about what he said to you or she said to you after you asked what they're going to do about child support reform and family court reform. Let us know what the response is after you've gotten active. Okay, because we can sit here and go back and forth all day about who's right and who's wrong in the political realm. But the bottom line is, the child support hustle, we're here to fight for reform or abolishment, whichever comes first. We're here for the non-custodial parent. We want to know, we want these unconstitutional rules, these unconstitutional rules and guidelines changed. We want parents that are in jail just because they cannot afford to pay, and prison, we want them released immediately. This is the stuff that we need to be talking about. So, like I said, I hadn't planned on coming on this video, but I found out another parent incarcerated, rights violated, and so I had to come on. So please share this video. We need more people in the fight. Don't be divided. Don't let politics and different things that they throw out at us, don't let that divide the movement and what it stands for. Okay? It's very easy to get derailed, especially when they're throwing a lot of stuff at you. The time is now, because if not, we're fighting for another 4 years just to find out, what are you going to do? What are you going to ask now? Let me see if I have any questions. You shouldn't have to pay, David. If your child is living with you, you should file a motion to have that child support order terminated immediately. Just have proof that your child lives with you. Okay. My suggestion to contact the group continue. Dad talk today was one of the speakers that I think. Okay, well, Jonathan, if you can, hook it up. Michael, I haven't known anyone to successfully sue their ex. That's not to say it hasn't happened, but a lot of times they'll, especially in those fraud cases, they'll make you go after your ex. You can't sue the state. They'll say that if you want to recover your money, you have to go after that custodial parent. So I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but you know, they don't advertise stuff like that. Just like they don't advertise how many parents they're holding in debtor prisons across this nation just because they are poor and can't afford to buy their freedom. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get off of here. Like I said, I'm pretty pissed off, so I want to come on here and just let's get together. Let's write letters, emails, let's tweet, however you can contact these politicians and ask them, what are you going to do? They have plans for everything. They're talking about immigration. They're talking about everything under the sun besides family court. And people are dying. Like literally, people are dying. People's rights are being violated every single day. And they're acting like they don't know, they don't see, they're just ignoring the issue. We have to make them not ignore the issue anymore. Okay? So, again, if you need to contact myself or anybody on the team, you can reach out here in the DMs or send a new client if you need help with your case and we can help you. You can send a new client form and you can find that at thechildsupporthustle.com. And you can send an email if you have any questions, cshustle1@gmail.com. Okay? You guys have a great evening, weekend. Let's get together. Let's fight. Now it's the time. We shouldn't have one more parent arrested because they cannot afford to pay a child support debt. Okay? We need to end this. Have a good night, y'all.